of LI 2462, which permits mining in forest reserves. The Academy warns that if the law is not repealed, it could hinder progress in forest management and the fight against illegal mining.
The Academy finds the enactment of LI 2462 not simply a troubling contradiction, but a completely tone-deaf response to the problem of illegal mining. The Academy demands the immediate revocation of LI 2462. It was enacted in extreme bad faith. What it seeks to do is not in the best interest of the people of Ghana.
The Ghana Meteorological Agency's warning of high fire risks due to the onset of the Harmattan within the next 10 weeks. The agency is urging citizens to reject a publication that claims that current weather changes are caused by pollution.
What we are experiencing now is pure Harmattan. We are getting northeasterly winds. And normally northeasterly winds come from the northern part of Africa. And it is very dry. And once it is dry and it is coming, there is no moisture in it. It's a very dangerous period for all of us.
The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abujinapo, says government is open to public input aimed at improving the lithium exploitation deal. Speaking at a CSO stakeholder forum organized by the Natural Resource Governance Institute, the sector minister emphasized that there is ample time for additional feedback to refine the draft before it is presented to Parliament.
Have a fiduciary duty towards the Ghanaian people to manage these resources with candor, with honesty, with competence, with transparency, and with integrity. And I can assure you that that's exactly what we are doing. We are happy to listen to opinions, and if we ever came across a proposal or an alternative which we believe is superior and we need to look into, we will look into it.
The Chief Justice, Gertrude Tokono, is urging the public to support the purging of corruption within the judiciary. At a public engagement in Accra, she highlighted the importance of the Public Complaint Unit, emphasizing its effectiveness based on public participation in reporting corrupt officials.
I beg of you, help me to weed out this practice of Faskabra Fawebra. We listen to everybody's voice. We also have an online facility. So if you can use the internet, you go on the net, you find a public complaints, post your complaints there, and we will give you a solution.
Oh, there's more news on 3news.com. Make some time and visit 3news.com. This is Ghana Tonight. Coming up next, ahead of the District Assembly level elections, advocacy heightens for more women to participate in local governance elections and be represented in local governance. But how can this be achieved, especially as we're talking about the teething challenges that women are faced with continuously, those who even have that ambition of contesting at this district level election. So let's hear from a number of the female aspirants contesting for the district level elections to be assembly women on Tuesday. And they've been sharing with us what they are faced with. And I'll tell you the statistics because it's not looking good over the years when it comes to women representation at the local level. Take a look.
I've not finished with the project I started. I'm seeking re-election to continue with the project. I've provided employment for the youth, sent children to school, completed a Kokompe school, and provided toilet facilities for pupils and teachers.
When you want my toilet, one has school beke be home. Come teacher say, "Any care balaka mukumusum." En we musun here de banya fe
Well, so we'll show you another one as well, a second person that we interacted with and what they've been telling us. But let me give you an idea of how the situation looks like with respect to the numbers, the statistics over the period. And we've been tracking this. The source of this information is the National Association of Local Authorities, Ghana, NALAG. And they gracefully give us this data that we're about showing you because we wanted to understand what has been the situation since 1994. If you look at it, in 1994, when we had the district level elections, we had 122 females elected. That's 2.9%, as against the 4,082 men or male elected. That's 97.1%. The total number of persons who were elected in 1994 was 4,204. Now, the number increased to sometime in 1998, and remember this is after every 4 years, the same as you would have it with the general elections, but this must be organized at least 6 months before the general elections. Now, in 1998, we had 196 females elected. That represented 4.1% of the total number of persons who were elected during that period of the district level elections. And take a look at that. The male in 1998, 4,624 males were elected, representing 95.9%. That's 4,820 persons in total. So every year, look at 2002 as well, the numbers, although increases for females or the women, you see an appreciation as well for the men, except for instance, 2002, where we had 341 from 196 in 1998, representing 7.4% for the women who were elected in 2002, as against the 4,241 assemblymen who were elected, representing 92.6%. Now, in 2006, you had 478 women elected as assemblywomen, representing 10.1%, as against 4,254, representing 89.9% of men elected. Shamima Muslim is going to be joining us on Zoom right now to have a conversation on this all-important development. Also, if you see, in 2010, the numbers dropped. We had from 478, it dropped to 412 women who were elected as assemblywomen in that election in 2010, as against the 5,681 male who were elected as assemblymen in that election in 2010. Fast forward to 2015, you had 282, that drastic reduction from 412 to 282 women elected as assemblywomen, as against that represented 4.65%, as against the 5,779 men who were elected as assemblymen in that 2015 election. So we've seen between the year 2006 and 2015 a continuous decline. In fact, you can add 2019, continuous decline in the number of females elected as assemblywomen. If you go to the year 2019, 245 females were elected as assemblywomen. As against, that's represented 3.91%, as against the 6,072 men who were elected as assemblymen, representing 62.72%. That's about 96.1% of the number of persons, total number of persons who were elected to represent the various assemblies and unit committees as well. So the picture, as you're seeing on the screen there, clearly doesn't tell a good story when it comes to women being elected into these positions at the local level as assembly women. That's why there is a continuous and strong advocacy for a lot more women to be elected this time around on the 19th, which is this coming Tuesday, when the district level elections are scheduled to take place. There's another issue that is coming up now. That's voter apathy. How many of you even know that there's going to be an election of sort on Tuesday? And then also those who don't even know their assembly members as well. A number of them who also have been talking about why they are not even contesting in the first place. Now, Favor Fiano is one of the aspirants as well that we spoke to earlier. Take a look.
Committee member in the Kakasunanka electoral area.
Women have to be bold to participate in local governance. Don't be afraid. It's not a place reserved for men, but also women. I will support my assembly member if I am re-elected.
They both urged the electorate to vote for women come December 19.
Michelle come name Kakasunanka electoral area. Me dan number 7. Obi-Wan, no size. Obi-Wan, no size. Obi-Wan, no size.
Well, that's the hope that they have. We'll come back to this shortly and get into especially the concerns and why the situation is getting worse or has gotten worse over the years, as I showed you in the statistics. And we're getting to it here on Ghana Tonight. Stay with us. But quickly, up next, the Ghana Academy of Arts and Science has passed a damning verdict on the government's fight against illegal mining, describing it as a failure for a number of reasons. We're going to be getting into exactly why the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences make this strong verdict or that position on the fight against illegal mining. Earlier today, the president of the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences indicated that per the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences own assessment, the fight against illegal mining led by government, with the president putting his presidency on the line, is a failure currently. Take a look.
The latest fight against Galamsey has failed in spite of the legal institutional framework that was put in place. Regrettably, however, successive governments have simply been incapable of translating these fine rules into action. There has been an inexplicable unpreparedness, unwillingness, and or inability of the governments to apply and enforce the law, set up the required structures, and resource them to work well. The Academy finds the enactment of LI 2462 not simply a troubling contradiction, but a completely tone-deaf response to the problem of illegal mining. The Academy demands the immediate revocation of LI 2462. It was enacted in extreme bad faith. What it seeks to do is not in the best interest of the people of Ghana.
So that's Professor Kofi Opoku-Nti, who is the president of the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences there. That's a verdict that this Galamsey fight led by government is a failure as we speak, and the evidence they made clear reference to. Awola Sewa is the coordinator of the Eco-Conscious Citizens, the co-founders as well. Awola, thank you so much for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. And this is the verdict of the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences on this Galamsey fight. Is it a verdict that, from your perspective as eco-conscious citizens and environmentalists, you agree with, that this Galamsey fight is a failed one?
What I would say is that it's difficult to see the commitment. When I say it's difficult to see the commitment, there was a lot of talk about mining taking place in forest reserves. Now, LI 2462 has been passed, which not only allows mining in forest reserves, but even globally significant biodiversity areas, if the president says it's in the national interest. And our information is that since the passage of LI 2462, a number of licenses have been granted for mining in forest reserves, including according to our information, 8 globally significant biodiversity areas. And then I was talking to someone about illegal mining the other day, and he was saying that if there was commitment, something would have been done about Joy's expose, Destruction for Gold, where with persons guarding, army personnel guarding illegal miners were filmed. What has happened to it? Akonta mining, what has happened to the activities they allegedly engaged in, which destroyed parts of the Tano Nimiri Forest Reserve and the water bodies. So it seems that if we want illegal mining to stop, all the president needs to do is to pick up a phone, contact those he knows who are allegedly involved in illegal mining, tell them to stop, and then call the IGP, ask him to cause investigations to be conducted, and where the investigations so demand, have them prosecuted. This would send a clear signal that there's commitment about tackling illegal mining. Otherwise, it's like we're fighting shadows. We're not particularly serious or committed to the fight.
Right, and you say that there must be a show of commitment. And consistently, we've heard the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, by essentially the President and the assigns of government, consistently make the point that there's commitment to fight illegal mining. The Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences has put their verdict up that this commitment is not evident. The fight is a failure. You are supporting that verdict as well. So in what form should this verbally expressed commitment by government come to, as it were, put meaning to the fight against illegal mining?
Of course. I mean, you cannot be interested in fighting illegal mining when you are clothing illegality with legality. We're not supposed to mine in forest reserves. The whole LI 2462 is clouded in what one would say illegality. When does the Environmental Protection Agency or the minister start protecting forest reserves by allowing mining in forest reserves? It doesn't appear logical. So of course it should be revoked. It should never have been laid before Parliament. But in addition to that, what we are saying is that it's a given. You cannot have LI 2462 and be committed to fighting illegal mining. But we are saying that in addition to that, Professor Frimpong Boateng had a report. There needs to be a public inquiry into it. He was quite clear that even if you have a license, but you are mining outside the parameters, whether close to water bodies, you're engaged in illegal mining. Having a license doesn't mean that what you're doing is legal. So if we want to stop illegal mining, as I've said, revoke LI 2462, pick up a phone, tell those you know who are allegedly involved in illegal mining, the high flyers, to stop, cause them to be investigated, and if the evidence so supports it, prosecuted. That's the only way that the seriousness will be exhibited. Otherwise, I'm afraid there doesn't seem to be any commitment, just a lot of spin and a lot of pronouncements, consultations, national dialogues. But we know the solution. There's no need to have any further national dialogues. We know what needs to be done.
Well, thank you. Awola, appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. And we'll talk about a lot more commitment to the fight against illegal mining. Awola Sewa is the national coordinator and co-founder of Eco-Conscious Citizens and Environmentalists as well, joining us. Awola, thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. Let's go back to our focus here on Ghana Tonight and talking about the district level elections. A number of you have already told us that you didn't even know. We just ran a quick poll. A number of you said you didn't even know that there was elections happening on Tuesday, the 19th. And I'm going to come to this statistic shortly, but Shamima Muslim is the founder and convener of the Alliance for Women in Media Africa. She's joining us on Zoom. Shamima, thank you so much for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. Do you also get it when you interact with some people that there's a low awareness about this district level elections on Tuesday?
Definitely. I mean, I just returned from a Net Rights annual end of year review on the status of women in Ghana, and even amongst us, There were people who did not know that Tuesday is an election day. And it's so sad, how we treat the decentralization system and the district elections. We don't treat it with the seriousness it deserves. And it's institutional failure, if you ask me. The EC hasn't done a lot. NCC hasn't done a lot. We can't blame them, because I heard that they didn't even get their resources to start their campaign until about 2 or so weeks ago. So what kind of, comprehensive public education and awareness can they do when we know over the years that the district level elections often do not attract the impressive turnouts? You see, also because the parties are not directly involved, even though we know that now indirectly many candidates, have political party affiliations, but because the law doesn't allow for partisan participation, and you'd see with the national elections, it's the parties that actually lead the mobilization and education, campaigns. So I'm not surprised that we are where we are today. We are nowhere close to, strengthening our district assemblies, because we are nowhere close to ensuring there's active participation of all different voices, marginalized groups, underrepresented groups, and we are definitely nowhere near educating the public to understand why local governance is the pivot of our democracy.
Important point you make about the availability of funding for NCC, for instance, and indeed it is the case that their budgetary allocations for some of these exercises came in fact, not 2 weeks. We checked, it was less than 2 weeks, actually. So you can understand where they are now and what they have to do. But I looked at the statistics earlier, and we're going to put it on the screen shortly. And just to give some perspective to the advocacy that you are on to have a lot more women elected to represent their people at the local level. Between 2010 and 2019, the numbers have been declining in terms of female representation at the local level. In 2010, it was 412 assemblywomen. It reduced drastically to 282 in 2015, then a further reduction to 245 in 2019. That's 7.9%, 4.6%, 3.9%, as we see. What has accounted for this continuous reduction we've seen over the last 3 elections from your own analysis?
Lack of support, lack of interest. Because when women who face all manner of challenges to participation and inclusion, when in spite of these challenges, when they step up and, throw themselves into the ring, and they feel like they've been thrown into the deep end without any consistent, institutional support, what do you expect? And the fact is that women go through different phases of their lives. So, for example, in 2010, a lady might have put herself up because she was unencumbered. Maybe there was no children as yet. There was no husband. She had free time. She could really, serve. She put herself up. She didn't get, voted. In fact, the fact of her availability was used as an insult. They would say, you are not married. You want to come and lead. You don't have children. You don't know what responsibility is. So, fast track 10, another 4 years, another 8 years. Maybe she's now married. She has children. Her husband hasn't agreed for her to contest. Now she's incumbent in so many other ways. So it's not surprising. It's not surprising because women feel like there is no support at all for them in their political participation. And the facts speak and bear them out. There's no financial support, there's no capacity support, there's no social cultural support. In fact, sometimes it's the family themselves that actually work against. There's Aunt Dr. Estelle Abuaje. She's a lifelong advocate for local governance. So she said sometimes she put herself to contest for the district assembly because she thought that she can't be talking about it and not going through the process. She said even her own father was telling people that don't vote for her. You see, so there are real deep social cultural inhibitions that continue to discourage female leadership, even though we know how complex female leadership is, how efficient female leadership is, because we see them. We see that the women are the backbone of our informal economy. Women are actually not homemakers. Can you count the number of women who are just sitting in the house doing nothing? You will not. Even from the local level, from the rural levels, we know women work from dawn to dusk. They work, they work in commerce, they work in economy, they bring food to our table. So I don't think that we don't know the value of women. We actually do know the value of women, but this country hasn't risen up yet to the realization that it can't progress any, substantially without building the capacities of its women to become more efficient, effective contributors to the economy. We can't go nowhere.
Indeed.
That's why we are where we are.
I couldn't have said it any better, Shamima. But, clearly what this means is that even if something is being done, not much has changed, right? No. So going forward, what has to be done differently to improve on the situation that we have now? Because you talk about financial support, capacity support, and so on. But what has to be done to ensure that this advocacy you're on is giving some momentum, not just by civil society, but by government as well?
You see, they said leadership is cost. And when we go back to make a legal case for why we must have more inclusive societies to sustain our democracy, we go back to our own constitution. We go back to the Local Government Act, and the specific provisions that enjoin, governments and duty bearers to ensure that we have women represented, women's voices represented. So my number one intervention still remains political commitment, because, the president has so much appointive powers. Even as we speak, we are just going to elect about 2/3. There's going to be not less than 30% appointments are still going to be made by the president. And we are saying that even if all these 1,106 women don't win, there are still a pool from which the president can make appointments to the district assembly. The president still has powers to appoint, later on when we come to district chief executives, to ensure that we have some female representation. If you look at the statistics from presiding members, all of those things, the picture is so dire. And as we were saying, the number of persons who have filed their nominations to contest just shows us that we are not going to make any substantial, increase. But if we're all inclined to do, and we make it intentional that Tuesday when we go to the polls, if there's a woman contesting in our area, just know that there are just 1,106 of them across the country. And there are about 70, let me get the figure again, 17,000 for men. The number of male candidates, and that's just for the district assemblies. The unit committee, the same picture is created there. So just know, if you have a woman contesting in your area, that if you voted for that woman, it's not even going to scratch the surface of the problem, but you would have contributed to creating more diversity in our district assemblies, and that will lead to more efficiency. Mind you, Alfred, at the district level, women are the primary users of those services. True. If we are talking education, if we are talking sanitation, if we are talking health, they are the primary users of these services, the markets in the communities, the health posts, the antenatal services, the CHIPS compound. If there's anybody who can give you suggestions on how to make these services efficient and responsive to the needs of the community, please, women have to be part of that conversation. Otherwise, we don't do ourselves any good at all. So for me, the women who have put themselves up, please, they should not be heartbroken. They are the brave ones who are paving the way for all of us to support. There is a woman lawyer who is contesting for Teko Saba. She's a strong CSO lady. She's put herself up to contest for unit committee. So we just need to know that it's not, district assembly is not for people who have not gone to school, or you think that it's for some class of people. It's for everybody.
Right.
People who have not had formal education, people who have had formal education. In these last days, please, the appeal is let us all go and then vote for the very, very few women candidates that will be on the ballot. Let's be intentional about supporting this women empowerment and participation so that it doesn't become just a mere lip service, because it is a practical necessity, and it's an ethical necessity, and it is a wise choice to make economically, really.
Economically wise choice indeed. Shamima, appreciate your time and thank you. And some of my team members say that the women have their vote. That's just a pledge to you.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you so much. So to the people of Ghana, we beg you. Right now, I'm begging everybody. I'm holding everybody's leg. Please, there are just 1,106 women across the country. Please let us, and it's just 6%. If you voted for all these 1,106 women, we would have only 6% in the district assembly. So please, that is all we are asking for. That's not too much to ask. So we thank you in advance. Please go out in your numbers. Please vote, and do vote the women in those areas that women have put themselves up. Thank you very much, Alfred, and everybody.
Thank you.
And have a good night.
We do appreciate the work as well that you're doing in this advocacy. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Shamima Muslim, founder and convener, Alliance for Women in Media Africa. Thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. If you didn't know, now you know. Tuesday is for the District Assembly elections. Go out and vote. And coming up next, the Tourism, Arts and Culture Ministry is in collaboration with the Creative Arts Agency and some stakeholders. They are on a drive to have more Ghanaian music played than foreign music, especially during this festive season. Is this a feasible expectation? We're going to be speaking to some of the industry players because there's something in there. The DJs, we want to hear from them why they are not playing Ghanaian, so many of the Ghanaian songs, especially at these events. You hear a lot more of the Nigerian songs, and then others than Ghanaians. And that's where the concern is. We'll get into it right after this quick break here on Ghana Tonight. Stay with us. We'll be back shortly.
Serene, pristine, natural. This is Maha Beach Resort, set on the seafront in Atuabo and the rich oil and gas hub of the western region. The warmth of the resort can fill your soul. Our well-receptive environment brings you home away from home. The strand of beauty detailing the state-of-the-art facility makes your stay even more fun within the well-thought-through architectural features, hosting all sorts of fun games. Maha Beach Resort has an assortment of packages for all occasions. Maha Beach Resort, redefining indigenous hospitality.
That means I come and brave you a higher and then you come by your first say, Papa Slide. Washing machine. Wow.
Beto hard drive.
Beto hard drive. In a radiator Franco so see and Chawadia into when hard drive. Any Achadian and they name my work. Oh, and no more when Franco see a Franco. Check out Nimeka picture Franco Mame.
Oh, Franco, why are you too much? Now, we better machine, so which means you are so grand.
First guy to get to the top of Mount Juango wins. Are you ready? Go!
You think you're fast enough? You think you're strong enough? You think you're man enough?
Why her? Bro, I don't know how to explain. It's just the way she makes me. You! I do not fear. No limit.
I'm not a competition, guys. I'm the prize.
Juango, no fear, no limits.
Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended. Persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
Everybody knows Acrobato. And if you know Acrobato, it means you know M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar. Let's hear what others are saying about M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. Who will be careful M-Punch one?
Chesena me ankasa me period na se problems wom ntina ma wo ho idea ma me papa chesena nya asem ketewa na me kwan point no mo hwe me mogam no mo hwe bibia na so mo medu a me fire no ene ma won kra me nu kofro kwa na mkwan mu a eba
and everything yourself
me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante ene ne ko end point o mama nu nura ene ne ho idea watimi asori anante.
That's end point for you of Acrobato. Hello hey ohwehwe what che okay a free bra wo di end point what dance am me call you no me Joseph Sema na enkoyie e paso na ma yemre nyina na magina sebema na me ni fie for there e ho na nyina jaresa. You heard everything. I have secret. M-Punch is my secret. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. I'm free.
Now it's Christmas time.
Spruce up your home for the holidays with our stunning collection of furniture at incredible prices. From cozy sofas to elegant dining sets, find the perfect pieces to create a warm and inviting space for your festive gatherings. Don't miss out on these merry deals. Elevate your home and celebrate the season in style with our Christmas furniture sale. Let's begin your home makeover journey at Dubai's leading furniture house, Danube Home.
Let's go! Get ready for Ghana's biggest comedy night, Romano's Incomplete 5, the AVV experience.
Asama, we were talking about your penalty, no? And today, I know with you.
Featuring Foster Roman, others on the bill, Lexi the Comic, Putogo, Chemical, Jeffrey Naughty. Rate is 150 Ghana cedis regular and 250 Ghana cedis VIP. Each ticket comes with a 5 kg of AVV rice. Dial *713 *33 *05 hash to purchase that ticket. Time is 7 p.m. sharp at the National Theatre on Friday, 22nd December. Proudly supported by AVV Rice, GH Schools, Ebony Condos, Onga, GT Travel Consult, and Mega 6 Lotto. Call 026-139-1099 for further inquiries. Romano's Incomplete 5, the AVV experience. See.
Chartered Institute of Realtors presents the biggest property festival set to hit Ghana this December. It's the Ghana Diaspora Property Festival, an event designed to promote investment in the Ghanaian real estate market. The date is 22nd and 23rd of December. The venue, Accra International Conference Center. The time is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. Oh yes, come with your family and friends and interact with a diverse array of exhibitors, including local and international property developers, construction firms, construction equipment manufacturers, suppliers, sanitary ware companies, home appliances, and decor firms, among others. The side attractions for this event include the kids' playground, art exhibitions, and many more. To register for this event, call 0302-792-589 or 0273-300-075, or you can email us at GhanaDiasporaPropertyFestival.com or sign up on eventbrite.com for more information. This event is open to all.
You can win 10,000 Ghana cedis for your challenge. Just find the code under the crown cork to nominate your challenge. Winners will be announced every Wednesday at 9 p.m. on TV3. No matter what we are going through, we will always have our challenge, because together we're gold.
Welcome back to Ghana Tonight. Now, acclaimed musician Samini is advocating for the right laws to protect and promote local music content. The hitmaker, together with colleagues in the industry, are of the opinion that the move will give a major boost to the campaign to have more time allocated to playing Ghanaian songs on the airwaves. He said this at the launch of the Play Ghana campaign. Take a look.
Let's make sure ours is ours, and let's make it appealing to the masses. This is by drumming it in every other day. If we play foreign music to Ghanaians every time, that's what they are on, and that's what they play. So when you go and check Apple Music Top 100 Ghanaian songs, you see foreign music. But that's what they hear on their radio, that's what they vibe to, so that's what rings in their head. So when you want to play something here, they want to play their favorite, they go and play that, and you can't blame such an individual because they've been indoctrinated, if I'm using the right word. So if we want to do this, it has to be strategic and deliberate. Thank you.
Blessings to everybody. See, with me, everything I say is brief and short and heartfelt. You know, this is not a blame game. We are not blaming DJs, we are not blaming artists, we are not blaming consumers. It's a step in the right direction for us all in our music and our culture. So play now. Blessings.
Oh. Meanwhile, the Creative Arts Agency is convinced that the Play Ghana initiative will help put the spotlight on Ghanaian artists and their work as the country prepares to host the World this December. Jankroma Ekufuado is the Executive Secretary of the agency.
And players of the music industry and film and broadcasting to review our local content regulations. Both the cultural policy and the broadcasting bill must be amended and enforced. Our Nigerian cousins have implemented 70% local content law within music, film, and broadcasting. Ghana must do the same. The Christmas season is upon us, a time where our creative community shines. Travelers visit our golden shores, sampling all the best that Ghana has to produce. Our diasporan brothers and sisters return home with braided hair, kente outfits, hand-carved wooden masks, adinkra symbol jewelry, oil painting of market scenes and Ghana sunsets. But Ghana music is left behind. This month's festivities, for Deti December, we need our artists pushed to the forefront, to be prioritized, in the nightclubs and on the airways. Let that tourist sample not only the best jollof in the world, but the best artists too. So today, the CAA is backing the pledge of Play Ghana.
Well, so there you have it. There's a Play Ghana campaign, but let's engage some major stakeholders in the industry. Rex Omar is the chairman of the board of the Ghana Music Rights Organization, that's GAMRO. We also have, joining us shortly, we would have Mekri Kwei, who is a disc jockey, that's a DJ, and also often referred to as the father of Ghanaian DJs and the organizer of the Ghana DJ Awards. Gentlemen, good evening. Thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. I'll start with you, Mr. Rex Omar. The Play Ghana initiative must be good news, I mean, to GAMRO, is it not, as a major stakeholder in this industry?
Yes, it's good for Ghana, not only GAMRO. It's good for Ghana, but in terms of GAMRO, what will make it good for GAMRO, music users or the media houses were paying GAMRO, then that is 100% Ghanaian music, and the music users are not paying GAMRO. It only helps promoting Ghanaian music, will not happen. So playing the music is one thing, paying for what you're playing is another thing. So in general, the way this world is going, it is only fair if every country will promote its own music. So it's good, it's a good initiative, but in terms of it benefiting GAMRO, it only benefit GAMRO when the music users, those who are playing the music on radio, will pay Gamro.
I see. But beyond playing the Ghanaian music, what else, in your view, needs to be done?
Would that be is enforcement? Because when you go, you are opening a radio station and you go and get your frequencies and rent your office space and buy your cars and your equipments and transmitters and whatever. Nobody adds music to it. It's a business on its own. So when you are playing music, at least the cost of the music usage must be calculated into your projections. So just like you are buying a car to use it for commercial transport, whether it's taxi or trotro, when you buy the car, nobody adds petrol to it. You have to fuel the car and then service the car. So if you are going to use fuel or petrol or diesel to put in your car, and you say no, because you want to do trotro and you have your car, you have your vehicle, you don't want to buy fuel. What does that mean? The difference between buying fuel and Gamros or using music is fuel. Nobody will give you fuel if you don't pay ready cash. But music is like we are giving you license to play the music, then pay later. And because of that, most of the radio stations play the music and they don't want to pay. And then what they think is that they are doing the musicians or the right owners favor. That is what the psyche is. And
Find out.
Earlier we changed that mindset.
But are you able to monitor how much Ghanaian music is currently being played as against foreign music? Do you have that system to put that in perspective?
We used to monitor these things, but we've stopped because, I mean, what's the point in keeping monitoring it whilst it doesn't even benefit Ghana? So we used to, previously, 20 years ago, or 20, 25 years ago, Ghanaian music was played though, but foreign music was much. Currently, yes, they do Ghanaian music, but it looks like the Nigerian music and the South African new craze of, what is the name of that type of music they brought?
Mapiano.
I've forgotten. When I remember, I'll let you know. So it is some kind of 50-50, 60-50, 40, thereabout. But strictly, if we say play, not only on radio, we are also talking about club. When you go to club, they play far much more foreign music than Ghanaian music. On radio, it's different from what they do on radio and what they do on in the clubs. Because on radio, yes, they try to play Ghanaian music here and there.
Right.
But when you go to the clubs, trust me, they play more Nigerian music,
I see.
foreign music than the Ghanaian.
Indeed, and maybe it's something that you may probably want to look at also reintroducing. But let me bring in McRequay as a DJ, and which obviously this call falls directly on your lap. This campaign drive to have more Ghanaian music played than foreign music. Preferably, we're talking about 80% Ghanaian music and 20% foreign music. That's the expectation of the Creative Arts Agency. I mean, you DJs would have to make this happen. I mean, is this one that you would also support and have your colleague DJs also hook onto?
It is more than possible. I think this is actually on the heels of a campaign that I actually started. And I know a number of campaigns have been started in the past, you know, where we have called for more play of more Ghana music, which is, of course, very important to us because a lot of us travel outside the country and we see how in other jurisdictions, they are very conscious and intentional about promotion of their own. I've been to South Africa. You know, if you get to South Africa, you hear a lot of their own music and just a little of foreign content. So I don't think this is something that, you know, should even be a campaign. It's something that we should, as a people, you know that it is best to actually sell what we have to the world. And I don't think this is something that anybody needs to be told about. But I think there has been a problem. There's been a problem of influx of foreign forces. You have had, myself as a DJ, I've had experience of where I'm playing gigs and people from other countries come up and they offer incentives just for you to sort of, you know, push what they have. So this influx has actually contributed immensely to the infiltration of, you know, other, you know, music content in our space. And I think what this actually does is to get us very conscious about pushing what we have, you know, selling what we have to the world, because this is what we have. If others have been able to sell what they have to us and we can see the impact that, you know, those contents are having, then it is time to actually be very intentional about pushing our own. So I know it is 150% possible, and it is actually supposed to be happening.
I say, but you DJs are often being accused of not promoting Ghana music well enough. I mean, so if you say that this is possible, it can be done, and it should be done, why is it not being done?
See, that is the problem. I think that the respect that is, you know, to be accorded to DJs, you know, has been a bit of a problem. You know, when it comes to discussions, we all know the importance of DJs. We all know the role that a DJ is playing in the ecosystem, in music promotion. I'm at an event right now. A DJ is playing, and if the DJ presses stop, the whole place will be quiet. And that is how important the DJ is. But how is it as a country, you know, that we are actually celebrating, you know, the people who are the custodians of our music, the people who keep our music on rotation, the people who promote our music, the people who introduce our music to people. When there are national discussions, when there are discussions about music, the DJ should be the first person to be called. But even when this campaign started, you could see how, you know, the inclusion of DJs in this discussion have looked like. And that's very unfortunate. And I think it is something that we have to look at if we actually want to turn things around, because it's very important to recognize the DJ. It is not the TikTokers. It is the DJs. At the parties, it's the DJ. On the radio, it is the DJ. At the special events, it's the DJ. At Guinness Ghana DJ Awards, it's the DJ playing. At your Ghana Music Awards, it's the DJ. If TV3 is having an event, it is the DJ. And as soon as the DJ stops playing, you probably need a live band where you have about 8 people who have to continue playing to keep the music running. The DJ does all that. So I think the problem that we've had is that when there's an issue, the DJ's name is the first to be mentioned.
The DJ's name is first to be mentioned. Well, you are the one behind the 10 tables, so obviously your name is going to be the first to be mentioned. But thank you so much for the support as well. But the number of you have also been sharing your views on this. And we've seen a very interesting display of preference. So we asked this question on our Twitter, that's our X page, and then also our Facebook page. It says, which of these is your preference of music? Ghanaian music, 57% of the 346 votes in less than 30 minutes, and they indicated that yes, 57% Ghanaian music. Foreign music, 43%, and a number of you also viewing it, over 3,000 of you viewing this poll. So yeah, we'll see how it plays out. And talking about Ghanaian music, you're going to be having a lot of it at the 3FM All-White Party. The 3FM All-White Party. Please keep that in mind. It's going to be on the screen right now. Everything you need to know about the 3FM All-White Party. We are doing the countdown on the 28th of December. The venue is La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. The time is 7 p.m. 13 days to go. Keep that in mind. And let's all be there. So these are the tables, and the prizes in there. And this has been designed to ensure that a group of 5, 10 people can come together and buy a table, and everything there. All of this will be available on the table for you, and more with the artists who have been billed to perform there. We have Akwabua, Stoneboy, Manifest, KK Fosu, all of them. So please call these numbers for some more inquiries. That's 053 1100927, 053 1100927, or 053 2200927, 053 2200927. You should make the time to be there, because we will all be there. It's the official party to round up the year. And on behalf of the rest of the team, I want to say thank you so much for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. Join me tomorrow morning for The Key Point. I have Martin Pebu, private legal practitioner, Bobby Bansin, private legal practitioner. We have Andy Apiakobi, who's a member of parliament for the Asante Achim South constituency, and then also member of parliament is a private legal practitioner as well. And then we have Bright Simmons, vice president of Imani, joining us as well. So 7 a.m. tomorrow to 10 a.m. here on TV3 and on 3FM 92.7 is The Key Point. My name is Alfred Ocansey. Have a great weekend and a good night.
Night is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint. Superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage, simply superior.